Moscow is beautiful. I have many famous landmarks, but exploring secret spots can add an extra layer of excitement and adventure to your visit. Moscow is filled with hidden gems and secret spots waiting to be discovered, so let's visit some of them with me. But before we take this exciting walking tour, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your support. We will start our discovery with the St. Andrew's building, which is a little piece of the United Kingdom situated in the center of Moscow and one of the only three in Russia. The current church building dated 1884. If you have spare $5.5 million, you can buy this house right behind me. It's for sale and it's called Egg House, which built in 2002. It's very questionable. Tourists and people really love it, but architects or designers saying it's really ugly. It's 3-story and it has sauna, private garage for 4 cars. You've got gym, but it's not very big and it's been for sale forever. They even put price down. It was, I think, about 700,000 more. So there you are. It's called Egg House. The house of architect Konstantin Melnikov, located near Arbat, is a masterpiece of the Soviet avant-garde. According to the author, the cylindrical design allowed saving materials, since the floor area was surrounded by a minimal perimeter of the walls. And not a single cart of rubbish was removed from the construction site. Unnecessary openings in the walls were filled with broken bricks and other materials. Now the building is in need of repair. The last restoration was carried out back in 1976. The unique architectural monument has a very unhappy legal fate. After many years of conflict between the architect's relatives in court, half of the house was transferred to the state to create a museum. The other half faces the same fate, subject to the fulfillment of the will left by architect's son. You can visit house inside, but due to the technical conditions of the house, the museum is able to conduct only 1 excursion per day for a group of no more than 5 people. Unfortunately, I missed out on it, so you can only see some photographs I found on internet. This is a tiny museum called Огни Москвы, Lights of Moscow. It's so small. It's 250 rubles entrance, which about £2.50, a bit less. Even some locals don't know about the existence of this place. Oh, спасибо. There, I've got even, you get little leaflets in Russian, little leaflets in English. So the point of this museum is just let you know how through the centuries we all come to light. From basic lamps, which was oil lamps, this one was lamps which is burned from candles and oil. And you know what? Maybe none of you remember, but I do. My nan used to have one of those. Because in the village where she used to live, there was a problem with light. Sometimes they have a blackout. So they used that lamp. This is a kerosene lamps. Some of them used to be in the street, some of them was attached to the horse and carriage. All this one, kerosene lamps as well. So this is a full-size original kerosene lamp, and this one are the street lamps. This one used to attach to the poles, and this one was a hanging one. You see? They used to climb on a ladder to light it on. Little police post. This picture showing a family in a house, whole family sitting around, and this has been candle holders, which they used to put in the middle of the house. And this bike here is for purpose as well. It's just showing that there was a lamp attached to it, kerosene lamp. They used to light it on, that the lights come off when they riding bikes at night and people can see them. These types of clocks, and remember myself when I was a kid, they were everywhere all over the Moscow. And this is a 1941 station, which is a control light around Moscow. There is a little workshop here. When you decorate light bulbs, if you can hear screaming children, there is a party going on. They bring them here, they sing the songs, and then they're gonna do all the little bits. You can color hair candles. As I said, it's a little hidden treasure. It's teeny tiny, but it's very interesting. And funny enough, sometimes in tiny museums like this you can spend longer because they're so interesting than in the big ones. A little exposition of Christmas lights. This one is from 1960s and it actually says it's 4 rubles and 50 kopeek cost. And look at those different Santas. I actually got one of those from my grand. I still keeping it from 1960s. Interesting how somebody come up with this idea. I mean, look how many lamps they collected. And it's because it's so cheap to get in here, entrance, it's mostly done by volunteers, and a lot of these lamps, see all those have been donated to this museum. And this one, it's all the oil and kerosene lamps, but look, this one is already really fancy ones. I really enjoyed this little museum. And if you're in Lubyanka, it's literally 10 minutes walk from the square, Lubyanka Square. Quite easy to find if you have a Google map. And the street itself is quite cute, and you can see what Moscow like behind the facade. This is another hidden treasure of Moscow. Even a lot of locals don't know this exists. Called Savinskoye Podvorye. Been built in 1907. When they make Tverskaya very, very wide, they knocked down a lot of buildings, but this building was very lucky. They moved it. They moved it in 1937 in the middle of the night with all the people who was there. Can imagine 23-ton building, they move. So they used to be, this is where it is now. There's the Tverskaya. So they move it a couple of 100 meters to here. Amazing, amazing. All this area called Flakon, exact translation bottle, because all this used to be a factory, glass factory, where they made perfume bottles. Large empty space on the top here in this pavilion, and as you can see, mirror. There's a lot of fashion show going on here. A lot of shops in here, but they're not designer, they're local designers, so they're not cheap shops, but not very, very expensive, over the top. So it's mostly for people who want to have something different. You can see by all the stairs that this used to be a factory, all these fire escapes. There are also a lot of offices here. This one is Amsterdam bar, and this shop is a guitar shop. I'm not gonna go inside. I just show you through the window, you see? All guitar, they actually make here. They not only sell famous brands, they also make guitars to order. You see, it's really, really cool. I mean, look at these sandals, aren't they amazing? Very nice. And this window is for haberdashery shop. If you like knitting, sewing. Very nice fashion here. And I'm not talking about here as Flon, I'm talking about as Russia. Oh my god, the designs here are fantastic. Then I'm out. Vietnamese restaurant. It's really cool. Cool place. And right across the road, Хлебозавод. Bread making factory used to be here, it's closed. And now they make shopping center and cafe area. Again, it's all been converted and it looks really nice. After sanctions, Starbucks been bought by Russian owners, and you can see it's very similar logo, just girl has a kokoshnik, traditional Russian head cover, and it's called Star Coffee, not a Starbucks. And this is what they just kept it since the bread making factory. This restaurant here called Thirsty for Blood, because of course vegan and vegetarian food is become more popular here as well. So the chef of this restaurant called it Thirsty for Blood because he sell all the steaks and red meat. This is Atis. It's the only higher educational institution in Russia where students receive education in all theater specialists and level of training and 8 faculties: acting, directing, musical theater, new direction and performing arts, choreography, producing, sound designs. History of institution began in 1878, and until these days, thousands of hopefuls to become the future stars try to get here. It's extremely hard. For example, this year they only have 84 spots for different faculties in total. Population of Russia is just over 143 million, so you can do the math. Depot Food Mall opened in Moscow in February 2019. on the premises of a former tram depot. Built between 1874 and 1910 in industrial neo-Gothic style, the red brick Miuski tram depot is considered an important architectural monument. Before the opening of the food mall, the depot as well as the adjoining street had been throughout restored. Depot houses a small farmers market with fruits, vegetables, cheese and meat, as well as the largest food court in Moscow and allegedly in the whole of Europe, with more than 70 stalls when you can sample food from all over the world, from China to Thailand and from Mexico to Morocco. Apart from the main building, which contained the market and the food mall, there are several proper restaurants. Overall, an old tram depot is the center of Moscow, is the largest foodie heaven for everyone, even the most picky and hard to please people. Finally, I made my mind up. I have an udon noodle soup, spicy, from a Chinese corner. And I'm very happy with my choice. So this big bowl of soup, you see the size of it? About £4.50. And it's very good, it's freshly cooked. You have to wait for a bit. But I'm very happy. And this is very big seafood restaurant called Crab, not crab. And this one called Syrovarnia, which is a cheese making place. But it's also a cafe and you can buy a lot of different types of cheese here. Before I come back to hotel, I stop to have a lunch in this cafe. It's called Dumplings. To be honest, I'm Russian and I did not realize there are so many types of dumplings. As all the Russian likes, it's very retro design. And it was great food. And again, large glass of wine, bowl of dumplings, and the tenner. And the wine was the most expensive part. Wine is quite expensive because bowl of dumplings was only £3.50. Look at this building. I didn't know it even exists. It's a Hotel Cappuccino, and it's really beautiful. Look at the detailing on this building. Unfortunately, we have all these ugly aircon units. I think this shouldn't be allowed to have them. Really spoiling the beauty of it. Like any other city in the world, Moscow has tons of hidden and interesting places. Sometimes it's a good idea to just walk around the city, doesn't matter where, just where the eyes look, and find those places. When we were in Prague, we did just that and found the most amazing cafe with a great food and beer with more than 15 flavors. So as long as it's a safe place you are visiting, go and explore. Let me know in the comments what did you found on your travels.